happening with Mrs. Sanford? Why don't you...
Oh, Martha's doing really well. Martha's doing really well. She's taking care of her grandkids. And
so what are her grandchildren's names?
Jacob and Savannah.
Jacob and Savannah.
So she's been helping with that. And she's been doing a little bit traveling with family.
And where's she gone?
I think she went out to Tennessee just recently. I don't remember where she's been going. She's been just hopping all over the place.
So she never went back to accounting, right? When she retired, that was it.
Yeah, when Steve got sick, that was it. Yeah.
Well, so did some of his can-do, optimistic, never let anything get in his way spirit transfer over to her? Did that
she
happen?
Had it before he died.
Well,
so,
few people had it like he had it.
That is correct.
There was a level that he had. I'm not saying she didn't possess some of it, but he had it in quantities that we're not likely to see again.
That's probably true. No, I think she's been still herself, just mainly herself.
Well, she's a very, very smart, resourceful individual that certainly showed tremendous courage under these circumstances. And I guess it can't be genetic, that she couldn't have got it from him that way. She had to get it by association. So, since you were in Steve's inner circle, what is one of your cherished memories of him?
I think always seeing Steve with a smile on his face.
Was there a specific circumstance that I'll tell you one thing that I remember, that when this happened, then I was able to put Steve in perspective, and I realized what he was. One day I got a oil painting, a picture of an oil painting that he had done, and it was fabulous, just fabulous. And he had learned like oil painting like 3 weeks earlier. And yet he was able to come up with this fabulous roadside in Tennessee or something like that. I bet you've seen it. And then shortly thereafter he came up with this other one. I think they were selling fruits and vegetables or something like that. And he did this in a relatively short period of time. And then I realized what Steve was. I put it together because he had become... How you doing, young man? He had become a preeminent school photographer, done fabulous things, became huge, started a show, published books, and then ultimately did that. And I realized he's a genius. And I've studied that kind of mentality for a long time, and I realized that's what he is. And one of the things that makes me believe that as well is that Steve had done all those things, had a show, books, was a dealer, all those things, hello there. And yet, no one ever had an unkind thing to say about him. And I can't, in this business, I can't think of another example of anyone that was as influential and as active as he was, and to not have any criticism of him whatsoever. And that is an amazing thing. So what's a moment that you can tell me?
Probably his and my annual trip out to Asheville, out to the antiques show out at Grove Park Inn. Just every year, we would just pack up. We'd leave.
So what's it like? What does the place look like? And
it's an arts and crafts stone type hotel that was built probably in the late teens, early 20s in Asheville, and it was always in February, and he and I would just pack up, go out, and we would just have a good time together. He and I traveled everywhere together, so it was pretty
What were some of the other places? What did you go to Zanesville together?
Yes, we did go to Zanesville twice together. We would make probably every month or every other month pilgrimage out to Las Vegas or Reno, and
pilgrimage out to Reno
or Las Vegas.
And what were the sacred rites involved?
Throwing the dice. He loved to throw the dice. He liked to play cards, so he and I had that interest together.
Oh, good. So what would you say was the personal quality that you know that he had that allowed him to be the success in so many different things that he was?
I think his ability to what was going around him, stay even-keeled, and he possessed something that I don't think I've ever seen in anybody else, is the high mentor level. He'd be able to mentor somebody and not have to rely on other people. He could rely on his inner strength for himself, and I think that was a quality that I'll never see again.
Are there some people in the business that he mentored that I would know?
He mentored me.
He mentored you?
Absolutely.
Besides yourself, is there anyone that comes to mind?
No. Probably a little bit of Roy.
Roy Chabla?
Yeah.
Dr. Roy Chabla, so I've learned.
Yes. I think it's just, I think everybody he touched, he had some kind of mentoring quality that he was able to bring to them and give them.
Well, good. So what are you up to these days?
I've got a business that is doing very well in environmental consulting, and this is my only show that I do anymore.
The only show. But how about in the important business, in the arts and crafts pottery business?
I've actually moved my focus more towards modern, because my wife and I moved into a modern home. It's built in 1950. So my arts and crafts stuff has been put aside, and now it's collecting modern.
And so what are examples of some of the modern things that some of the modern designers and craftsmen and people like manufacturers?
A lot of LA-based artists. David Cressy, architectural pottery.
David Cressy. Could you spell Cressy, please?
Cressey. David Cressy. Harrison McIntosh, who just is going to be turning 95 this year. And they're having a retrospective of his life at the Amoca down in Southern California. Let's see, who else do I collect? Marguerite Wildenhain from up here, up in I guess she was out of Guerneville. A lot of Southern California artists.
Oh, good.
And I'm enjoying it.
So, can I get a shot of you with one of them?
I don't have any of them with me.
You don't have any of them. What do you have here?
Just all my arts and crafts pottery.
Well, that will work just fine. Can I get a shot of you with one of your arts and crafts, one of your prized possessions, or at least one that you can tell me something about?
Okay. Can you go into the glass or not?
Well, we'll see. Why don't you first tell me about it?
It's a Pewabic piece, circa 1915.
A Pewabic. Could you spell that, please?
P-A-W-A-B-I-C. Pewabic pottery.
Okay, good.
Out of Detroit, Michigan. And it's pretty rare to have one with handles on it, so that's...
Well, great. How much would you let it go for today at this show? In hard cash?
In hard cash, probably about $3,500.
Okay.